Go.
Hey there, everyone. Thanks so much for listening to my podcast. This is Kristan Getsy, and today joining me is my dear friend, Jen Beck, who is also on Team Getsy for our Live2Lead Global to Local conference coming up October 8th. Jen, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me, Chris. I'm excited to be here.
So Jen, I'm excited that you're on the team because you just bring an extra flavor that we didn't already have. But tell people a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So last year in America, we spent $71 billion on the diet and weight loss industry. And chances are, if you've ever struggled with your health and your weight and you went to your doctor, he probably told you to go and lose weight and then your health issues would resolve. Well, after 20 years of being an integrative health specialist and weight loss expert, I'm just here to tell you that that's backwards, right? We actually need to resolve the root cause of your health issues so that the weight naturally releases. There's a dozen reasons why you could be holding on to extra weight. And if you don't get to the root cause, you're going to go back on the same diet cycle you've always been on. So what I help you do is end that diet cycle, address the root cause, and really release the weight for good. We take a holistic approach, a mind-body approach, so we really create lasting results so you can reclaim your health and your waistline.
And I know that you do more than what you just said. And the reason I can say that is because you've actually helped our family. A lot of my friends know that my husband's been on this crazy cancer journey. I really hate to use that word, but and at the beginning, he has throat cancer. And one of the things you recommended was not something that the doctors were telling us, but it's been the best tool to help him to continue to eat during the whole process. She told us about aloe vera juice. When we talked to the doctors about it, Jen, they were all about, well, there's been no documentation for that, so we can't make the recommendation, but we hear it's really good. So, I mean, like, you have those little nuances that you're able to provide to people.
Yeah. I mean, I got into nutrition because of my mom's multiple sclerosis journey. And she was on all the preventative medications to prevent her from having major relapses. And when she was 49 years old, she got moved into a nursing home over the course of 6 weeks. And she went from living on her own to being in a nursing home. And it was at that point that I started looking into nutrition, started doing research, saw people reversing MS and, most chronic diseases. And that's why I went into nutrition 20 years ago. And I've really been on a mission for the last 20 years, helping people to, I mean, if for me, if I can prevent one person from having to put a parent in a nursing home at 49 years old, like, my impact is made. And so that's really been my mission. So it is way more than weight loss, but you know what? The average person put on 28 pounds over the last 18 months. So a lot of us are looking for that weight loss.
Exactly. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. So Jen, you're in one of my groups of inside peers, and it was crazy when I brought this Live2Lead up. I don't even think I actually asked you to help with Team Getsy. You just said, hey, put me on. So Why were you so interested in helping out with Live2Lead Global to Local?
I love I love all the speakers. I mean, Ed Milet and Jamie Lee, I can never say her name right.
Jamie Kern-Lima.
Thank you. I always switch the two. There's so many incredible speakers that are on this panel. And I love the fact that we've got these big names, which have just incredible messages, very inspiring. And at the same time, you're bringing in this local flavor. And, we have so many amazing leaders in the Cincinnati area that I'm excited you're bringing in some of them to spotlight and to really help people hone their leadership skills and give them a platform for growing their networks at the same time.
Right. So, we're really trying to inspire people. We're trying to bring significance and impact to people. And I think all of these speakers, like, each one individually brings a different ingredient.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned Jamie Kern-Lima, and I love her story, like her story of the rags to riches in the literal sense, right? She started cosmetics in her living room, grew it to the point that she went to what is that place called? QVC.
QVC. I was going to say CVS.
Yeah, no, she didn't bring it to CVS. She brought it to QVC. And, that was many years ago.
Yeah.
And to date, she's still like, her cosmetics brand is the #1 bestseller. But the best part was she sold her IT Cosmetics to L'Oreal. And then L'Oreal was like, hey, we like you so much. Why don't you become our first female CEO? And she's like, kicking butt. I just love the girl power that happens there, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's inspiring. I saw her book launch, and hearing her story firsthand was just, wow. I mean, I was just blown away. And so, and I love those stories of inspiration and those rags to riches stories, and really seeing people that not only have helped themselves, but have gone back and helped other people. You know, I think Ed Milet is one of those people where he just has this movement where he wants to bring people up and bring people along with him. And I just love his dynamic and his personality too.
Yeah, I think you have a lot in common with him because he is just so inspiring. I've been listening to his book on tape, and it's hashtag max out your potential. It feels like the motivational coach that you need to listen to every time before you get out on that sporting field or at the sporting event. He's just like, he's very excitable. Let's just say it that way.
In a great way.
In a great way. Yeah. So I love that at this event, we have the opportunity to help people to elevate themselves through personal development. And we're going to bring power to purpose. And I think that's the bottom line of it all. And I'm glad to be part of a movement where at this era, where we have such civil unrest and where we have this whole pandemic thing that's just kind of looming over us, that we're giving people a kick in the pants, right?
Yeah. And it's, you know, and it's kind of that boost that we need. I mean, the last 18 months, people are like, oh, you know, the unrest and the uncertainty and stuff like that. But it's like, no, you know what? There's such a bigger picture out there. And when we can be able to tap into that, it allows us to be able to expand our vision of what's possible and to take that inspiration back, not only to our work and our business, but also to be able to take it back to our families. Because I think when we recharge our vision and our motivation, we're that much better for the people around us.
Absolutely. I think too, one of the conclusions I can give is that you have this amazing ability to help people understand the mental health portion of their physical health, right? And what we're bringing with Live2Lead global to local is that people can come and be inspired, but that need to see face to face is going to be there. And I have been told time and time again, people need the networking.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, networking has been, I mean, for me, I've lived in 7 states over the course of 5 years before I landed in Cincinnati. And networking was the one thing, it was the lifeline. And it was the way that I built a community and I created new relationships. And you know what, in a time of unrest like we are in, we need our community way more than we ever have before. And the greater the network expands, the more positive influences, hopefully they're all positive influences we have in our life. And that allows us to be able to grow as well. And we all have so much to offer and so much to learn from each other, that networking piece and being together fills our soul, but it also has a way of expanding our mindset and our perceptions and the way that we look at life.
Right. And I want to say too, like if people are still concerned about the gathering part, we are offering an online version. So all you have to do is go to live2leadnky.com and it's the registration tab. Jen, I'm looking forward to seeing you there in person.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yes. So October 8th, and it's we're going to start networking and registering at 8 a.m. and the program begins at 9 a.m. It's a great simulcast out of Atlanta, Georgia that's going to include John Maxwell, Jamie Kern-Lima, Valerie Burton, Jeff Henderson, and Ed Milet. And in the afternoon, we have a great group of breakout sessions and a fireside chat that's called Pivot to Progress. You will not want to miss it. So I look forward to seeing all of my friends in person or online October 8th. Please go register and enjoy. I hope you all have a blessed day. Again, Jen, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Kristan.
Go.